All right, everyone, welcome to our Week 13 recap, and man, was this a crazy one. I don't know about you guys. Let me throw Zen in quick, actually. I got a lot to talk about. I don't know about you guys, but Monday night felt like a fucking roller coaster of emotions. That was a crazy game, like an awesome game to watch. But in terms of fantasy football, this one was just absolutely nuts. In terms of our league, it could have went anywhere. This could have blew our league up if things went one way or another. But needless to say, Week 13 was a massive, massive week. As you can see, there's no headliner here. I can't bullshit this week. I have a lot to discuss here. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get through the recaps, and then we're going to dive into, like, right after the recaps are done, we're going to dive into playoff circumstances, because right now, I mean, this is one of the craziest leagues I've been in, like, this year ever. Like, this is nuts. This is crazy. Wait till I get to the playoff stuff. So we'll just dive right into it. As always, we will start from the bottom and work our way up. We've got Young Ho against Simone, who is struggling this year. No doubt about that. We got Davis Lee improving to 7-6, putting up a really good number here. Tua having a good game. Pacheco delivering again consistently. Achan, A-Chain, Tomato comes back, puts up 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins, I mean, your team just did it, man. They shined when they needed to shine the most. And Simone, 112. I know your playoff chances are over, but thank you for setting a lineup. It was fantastic of you to do that. Yeah, good stuff. Good game, Simone. Good effort. Davis Lee, way to improve to 7-6. Way to improve. Next match, man. This one was, this blows it out of the water. You don't find matches this close often, and a match where ETN is 6 yards away from winning this game for Christian, and the coach benches him when he's got a backup quarterback in. It's just scary, terrible stuff. Christian, I feel so bad for you, man. Brian Verbickus, I would be shitting my pants, honestly, man. But enough about that. Let's get right into it. Brock Purdy, awesome fucking game. This guy's been tearing it up recently. Ramondre Stevenson got an injury to watch out for. It might hurt you coming to playoffs. Breece Hall with 10 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown delivering one of his lowest scores of the year. And Christian Kirk nearly blows his nut. He blows his ball nearly. Testicular torsion, nothing funny to joke about there. Wishing him a speedy recovery. And Chuba Hubbard with 22 on your bench. Christian, man, this is tough. Though it always sucks losing like this, man. Dak Prescott, hell of a game. Austin Eckler, really just an unremarkable season. I forget when he was taken in this league, but just really bad stuff. ETN showing signs of life again, and then Tank Dell. I mean, that just sucks, dude. That is so bad. I feel so bad for you. Like, it's just pain, man. It's pain everywhere, dude. Like, even Jake Ferguson, fucking Turd Ferguson popped off. Oh, I don't need to beat a dead horse, Christian, man. Unlucky. Brian Verbickus, clutch win, improving 8-5. Next match, gonna really not go too heavy in this one. Dirty Mike, thanks for setting your lineup at least. I know you put up 63, but you set your lineup, did the best you could do, and I appreciate that. Gardner Minshew, man, you're rolling out your QB1. That's awesome. That is awesome. And Zach Baldwin gets it done, improving to 8-5, putting up a pretty good score here. CJ Stroud, and then Derrick Henry with a possible concussion. Gotta watch that going into the weekend. Michael Pittman having an awesome game. Then Sam Laporta. This guy's tight end 1 this year as a rookie. He might be one of the best rookie tight ends. Him and probably Dalton Kincaid. Who will be the best? Riley, come here. And yeah, that's it. Really nothing too remarkable on the bench. Baldwin, hell of a game. Way to sack up when you needed to the most. Proven 8-5. Oh, man. The most controversial game of the week, maybe the year. The infamous Skiz TP match. This is one where me as a commissioner, I don't know what to do. I've been preaching setting lineups the whole year. Skiz has been on the receiving end of that talking to, and if it's something that I've stood strong about is just setting your lineup. I did make a comment in our text group where I said I will be manually setting lineups going forward. I do want to rebuke that statement. I'm a man who, sometimes I say stuff and I tend to reflect on it. I hear what other people have to say. And I realized that that's not necessarily fair to do. If people got wins week 1 through 3 or week, 2 through 5, whatever you want to call it, if they got wins because people didn't set their lineups, I can't go and start setting lineups now. It's just not consistent. It's something that I'm going to work next year. I'll be throwing ideas out there. Maybe a deposit, maybe a fine, but I don't want to fine you guys. Like, I don't know. I'll figure something creative and fun out. Inevitably making, I guess, the punishment better for the group, but we'll discuss that in the off season. But yeah, this is a tough one. Team Skiz winning when he needed to win for everyone else, not necessarily for himself, but he won for everyone else. And he did it in such an ugly fashion. Deebo Samuel with a monster fucking game saved his team and saved a lot of us in our playoff hopes. Not much else to address, honestly. 97 points, nothing remarkable, but like even AJ Brown, like he got the result when it needed the most, I guess. Jordan Love continuing a good tear. Tony Pollard 17. Raheem Mostert doing okay. Keenan Allen with an off game. Kate Otten putting up a goose egg. And then Tyler Boyd. I thought he was going to do it in overtime, but the ball just wasn't going his way. Zach Munski, that's tough, man. But a Skiz win there is great for the league. And, man, let me tell you, it makes for a really exciting Week 14. All right, we got the Howlitzers who are on an absolute tear, giving it to Tom Hagen this week, putting up 160. If he's not breaking 100, he's putting up 160. Like, it's this team's all over the place. And it starts with CeeDee Lamb. The guy's... Man, that Week 5, he really came back to life. DK Metcalf having a monster game. Evan Ingram with a monster game. Like, relying on Sam Howell, too, is crazy. Like, this is a good roster. CeeDee Lamb is just so good this year. Rachaad White is really becoming a consistent running back. Like, his team's finding form at the right time. We've got Christian McCaffrey and no Josh Allen this week. The Josh McCaffrey show wasn't live, but, I mean, still got awesome numbers from Devonta Smith, Mike Evans. Nothing too remarkable in the flex. I mean, half your team was... literally, just about half your team was on bye. Yeah, Tom, you didn't really need the result. I think you're pretty much locked up first place anyways, so... Mike Strumpfler, man. Improving to 7-6. It's going to be a scary week. And we've got another heartbreak here. Martin Peace gets it done, improves 8-5 in a must-win. Jahmyr Gibbs went off game, but everyone else showed up. It's the Tyreek Hill show this year, man. The guy's undisputed, probably the best player in fantasy, I would say. Him and Christian McCaffrey so far, knock on wood. But yeah, awesome game. Putting up 138 points in an absolute must-win. The Justin Jeffersons, Joe Mixon went on the road, couldn't get it done. Kyron Williams was trying, Olave was trying, but really, I got let down by Chris Godwin, and Njoku had an off game. The ball didn't roll for me, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it. We absolutely fucking battled, and, Joe Mixon doesn't get my $25 donation. Okay, I think I'm going to skip... I'm gonna really fly through the biggest loser, biggest winner, and stuff like that. I do have to save some time for the playoff picture. I really don't want this to be a long video. Biggest winner biggest loser... Gazzoni. Sorry. Biggest winner off of memory was Mike Strumpfler. Absolutely big win. And our matchup of the week goes to Skiz versus Zach. I don't need to go over that again. If Zach wins that game, playoffs are looking way more unfortunate for other people in the league. So I will do a really quick recording check. I'm at 8 minutes. I'm making awesome timing. Okay. This is the most important part of the video. Hopefully you stuck through. I want to quickly go over the rules because I, too, forgot how it is actually seeded. It is not West versus East. I did track back the last 3 years to verify that our league settings are just the top 6 teams make it. Here are the ESPN settings, which are the default to 2 top 4 teams in the league make the playoffs. These 4 are comprised of 2 division champs, 2 wildcard teams. Division champs are the teams that win the league division. So if you win the West, you are in. If you win the East, you are in. If we take a quick look here, how to get in. It's a very tight matchup in the East. Tom Hagen won away with this, so that opens up like these 8-5 teams to sneak their way in. The East is kind of up in the air right now. It depends on the result of Baldwin and Zach's for who locks up that first place match. It's just so down to the wire here. And then obviously everyone else will fill in from the bottom. Playoff seeding and tiebreakers, it's going to be points for I don't think it's going to get to number 2 or 3. I really don't. If it does, that'd be fucking incredible. Here are current situations. I tried to get through this pretty quick, so I wouldn't be shocked if I mistype something or mess something up. But currently, our situation out is Skiz, Dirty, and Simone. That leaves 9 other teams to get in. Who is in? Tom Agan, with an awesome record, awesome team, good performance all year. Who is fighting? I think we all know who's fighting for a spot right now. Kind of broke down between each individual player here as well. Brian Verbickus, you are locked in with a win. You are playing this week. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should have pulled this fucking shit up. Alright, here we go. I'll zoom into this so you guys can see a little bit better. Maybe. Maybe I will. Maybe I fucking won't. Alright, Brian Verbickus, you are playing Simone. Almost locked in with a win, but anything can happen. You will go in and improve to 9-5. Martin, you are in with a win, and you are playing Chris Russell. It really only matters to you. You can, I mean, Skiz, we know what he's capable of, but if you win, you are in with 9-5. Zach Baldwin. This is one of our key matchups, which I highlighted here. If Zach Baldwin wins, he will be locked into the playoffs with 9 wins, even if the other 2 won as well. He will lock up now the East, which will now open up, people like Martin and people like Brian to sneak in, which would unfortunately screw the other guys, essentially. So, with a Baldwin win, he is in. He will claim first in the West. And then that leaves Martin and Baldwin. So either way, if they win, they're in. And then that takes away now there's 2 other playoff spots left. This is where it gets really tricky here. You got me, Zach Strumpler, Davis, all at the same record. But I play this week Tom Agan, who is first place, going to be a really tough matchup. If I win, I will improve to 8-6. Baldwin, those other guys, granted, they win, they will move up, they'll automatically be in. So now I'm 8-6. If I lose, I am most likely out unless Zach loses, which would solidify Baldwin to first, which would move whatever's going on with these two, depending on how their results go. And a Davis or Mike loss here as well, which we will highlight. Okay, sorry, this is so tough to keep track. I'll just hit the key matchups at the end. It'll make more sense then. We've got Zach Munski, who is playing Baldwin. If Zach Munski wins, he will improve to 8-6. Baldwin will now fall to 8-6. And if the other 2 win, they're still clearly in. So now all these teams who are going to become 8-6 will have to compete for points 4. Anything can happen. Like if I lose and Zach wins, he's only competing with now either Strumpler or Davis for those points. This is crazy. If Zach Munski loses, he's most likely out unless I lose, and it's going to be between Davis and Strumpler at this point for highest points 4. So if I lose, Zach Munski, who also loses, we will now be playing for the last spot in the league. I'm trying to make this make sense. It makes more sense in my head. It's tough to explain. Hopefully it makes more sense here with the Strumpler and Davis, who are now... I'm going to go back to the standings here, people. Just bear with me. This is really tough, and I'm trying to do this in a hurry. We've got Strumpler and Davis, both at 7-6. However, Strumpler's coming from the East. So either way, one of them are going to win. They're now going to be 8-6, which now throws another 8-5, 8-6 team in the pot. So, if Strumpler wins or Davis wins, everyone else who is at 8-6, which could be honestly anyone there, we are all fighting for points 4 for about, I believe, the last 2 spots. One of them's going to lose. If who's ever on the receiving end, so say Davis lost, he will now be competing with whoever lost here between Zach and Baldwin for the last spot, or if I lost, he'd be competing with, the other 7-6 team, or the other 7-7 team, and they'll need the highest points for. I know this is confusing as fuck, but just take a look at this, take a screenshot if you have to, and you can figure it out yourself too. I'm sorry, this is so complicated. And then Christian needs a lot. He needs Baldwin to win to lock up the West. He'll need the other guys to win too. with a Baldwin win, Zach will lose. You'll need me to lose. And then if all this happens, the very last spot in playoffs will be determined by points for. And then just to highlight the key matchups again. With a Baldwin win, Zach goes down to 7-7. Unlikely that he's going to make it at that point. But Baldwin will lock in playoffs with a 9-6 record. And he will lock in the East Coast. So if Baldwin improves to 9-6, Tom Hagen will be locked in. He will be locked in. Everywhere else is going to be a battle. So these two guys, if it's going to be Martin and Brian, whoever gets 9 wins there will lock it in. So now these guys are kind of like, it becomes a different ball game because we will now, like if Baldwin wins this game, we are now competing for 4 other spots between the 2 teams who already have 8 wins. So it becomes really dicey. Like even if you get 8 wins, you're competing. It just depends on what happens, guys. Like I try my best to make sense of this, and I know it sounds like I'm mumbling, but at the end of the day, your team needs to win, and that's the end of it. Your team needs to win, and you need to score as many points as you fucking can because you're likely going to be in a tiebreaker with someone else for the last either 1 or 2 spots in the league. You guys can map it out too if you want. If someone can break this down easier, I would greatly appreciate it. But just a rough estimate, a Zach Baldwin win kind of screws everyone else over, I will say. But a Zach Baldwin loss opens up. It's just, there's a lot of teams with 8 wins. It's going to be an absolute battle. Just win the fucking game. I tried my best with this spreadsheet. If anything, hopefully you got a good laugh of me trying to explain this thing. Like, it's fucking crazy. I don't know. I genuinely don't know how else, to break it down. Just fucking win, alright? I probably did all this work for fucking nothing, but hopefully you guys were able to get some clarity out of it. It's just craziness. Like, it's just nuts. And if you want a quick snapshot at our points for, this doesn't help either because we're still all so fucking close. Like, we're all within this 1,500. Like, anything can happen. Besides Tom, and then, Martin has a clear advantage as well. So if it comes down to a tiebreaker, Martin is most likely going to get in. Like, even if he loses, bank on not overcoming a 130-point deficit. So it's really coming down to everyone else. Like, we're all right there. It's just going to come down to how many, just comes down to winning and fucking beating everyone else by points for. And our biggest matchups of the week, they're going to change a lot. They're going to change the standings like crazy. Like, I don't know. It's so tough to follow, but I think you guys got it down. I'm going to cut this video because I feel like I'm just rambling, and we're at 18 minutes. So God bless you if you stayed this long. I'm going to cut this video. All right. Have a good night. Good luck, everyone, and let's just do it. Let's get through this. Get a fucking win.